Welcome to Midlife Matters. I'm Marie, and each week I'm joined by my friends Julie and Mindy to talk about all the topics keeping women in the middle years up at night. Today we're doing a summer replay of an episode recorded a few years ago. We devoted this entire episode to I'm a Fan recommendations. Join us as we share what we still love and what did not stand the test of time. Let's get started. Listeners, today we are devoting our whole episode to I'm a Fan. What things have we recommended to you over the past few years that we still love, and what ones do we now hate? And hate might be a strong word, but we're no longer fans. And Julie and Mindy, I think this might have been a listener request.
Yeah, I think it was somebody wanting to do a recap of all the I'm a Fans. Maybe you weren't listening when we first started the I'm a Fan, and this way you can kind of get caught up on all those things.
Also, I'm listening to Jennifer and Courtney on Mama Ain't Easy on their podcast when they were up and running, which we miss you guys. But they did kind of a I'm a Fan recap of the things that they still use and don't use too. So I thought I had fun listening to theirs.
Yeah, because a lot of times you forget that somebody might have recommended that and you meant to get it, or you're glad that you never got it because it turns out they didn't like it after all. So you never know.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to hearing from each of you what things have stood the test of time and what you no longer like. So be brutal, because I think the ones that you no longer like are the ones I'm most interested in.
Right. Sorry, I lied about that one. Yeah.
But anyways, let's just kick it off. Julie, why don't you tell us something that you are still a fan of?
All right, we've joked about this product for so long. But it's still my top thing, and it's my Vuori Performance joggers. I lived in them for a year, and I'm wearing them today. So we're going on, 2.5 years, and they're just perfect. I mean, I looked them up. The description is mid-rise, relaxed fit, tapered leg. They're the most soft, comfortable fabric, and they just go with so many things. So I'm still in them, and they still look great.
Yeah, and I think that's a great testament, because I saw those in REI, and I think they're about $90 or $100.
Yes.
And I remember you saying that you stopped and grabbed those on the way to a workout because you realized you didn't have any pants.
Yeah.
And I bet at the time it was like, what? $100 for pants? Well, there's nowhere else to stop. Okay. But they have obviously held up, and you have gotten your money's worth.
Yeah, because when I saw I just grabbed them, didn't try them on, went to the checkout, $98, and I thought, oh, I can just bring them back. I'll just bring them back, And I've loved them so much, and my trainer even jokes like, man, you can't complain about the price of those because you've really gotten your money's worth,
Yeah.
If you wear something and sleep in them every day, you can't complain about the price.
Right. Yeah. And REI does have a very generous return policy. So, if you try out something, I feel like even if something's expensive there, usually I end up loving the product. Yeah. But I bought some sandals this summer that I wore, and I don't love them, and they're still within the return policy, and I'm still contemplating taking them back because I had every intention of taking them, but they're a little tight on my feet, and they kind of hurt. And it's like, I paid too much money for these for them to hurt when I walk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all that to say is, you can feel comfortable when you buy something at REI that if you really genuinely don't like it, you can return it.
And I'll say that the brand is, because I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It's VUORI.
VUORI. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I even saw some products in REI for men in there. Yeah. And, I think probably the whole family couldn't find something that they liked. So that's a good one, Julie. I remember
you only need one because it lasts forever.
I remembered you when I saw that brand.
Yeah.
So, Julie, I've been contemplating getting some of those ever since you mentioned it, however long ago that was. And I'm still contemplating.
Yes. All right, Mindy, what's something that you are still a fan of?
My number one, still a fan of every single day that I use is my Philosophy Amazing Grace body lotion and perfume. this is my signature scent. I never knew that I would have one. Not that you need to have one if you don't, but I still love it like as much or more than I did a couple years ago. I think when I first mentioned that's my favorite smell, and I'm still getting compliments, like people that will smell me. And I don't even smell anymore. And they're like, oh, that smells so good. What are you wearing? I was checking out at Publix and the lady said, oh, if you don't mind, I'm going to forget it if I don't go ahead and do it now. She stopped ringing up my order, got on her phone, and ordered some.
Really? She didn't just write it down. She went ahead and placed the order. That's cool.
No. She pulled the phone out and she was like, oh, yeah, I've been looking for something. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, I love that. I love a signature scent.
Yes.
Yes. I love it. Every day I put it on and I'm like, I feel like me and I feel good.
Yeah. I do remember you recommending that. And so that's awesome that it still stands the test of time.
And tell us where you got it.
You can get the Philosophy products. I get mine at Ulta because the reward system is good, but you can get it at like Belk or Dillard's or Sephora, stuff like that, or online.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. All right. Well, something that I'm still a fan of, I'm taking us way back to December of 2020. So I've been using this almost for 2 years. And I don't know how many hair things I've bought that I used like one time and then I never use it. Like my daughter's hair looked really super cute using a crimper and she encouraged me to buy one. And I used one and it was an unfortunate day because I used it on a day that I went to lunch with Julie. She was like, what happened to your hair?
I did not.
She didn't say that, but her face said that. And she did wonder, like she did say something about your hair looks different.
I do not remember this.
It's true. And that was the last day I ever used the crimper. Because I just don't think that crimpers look good, maybe on my particular hair or maybe on middle-aged hair. I don't know, but it just was maybe because we used these at earlier points in our life, we just can't go back. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I'm so embarrassed.
Why? Why would you be embarrassed?
Well, Julie, you told her the truth.
But I'm the reasons that she's no longer using this
product. Oh, no. I
I
already knew the crimper was terrible. I just didn't have time to rewash my hair before I went to lunch. So anyway, that thing has sat in my drawer as a reproach to why do you ever try new hair products? But anyways, I've had other hair products like that. One time I bought one of those super skinny curling irons. Disaster. Nobody needs a curl that tight if it's not natural. Like I think I was just burning my hair off. Like, I don't know. Things can look good on other people and just not on me. So, but here is a hair product that I've used for almost 2 years and I highly recommend. It is the Revlon One Stop Volumizer Original 1.0 hair dryer and hot air brush. And that's a very long name, but basically it's a brush bristles attached to a blow dryer. And I don't know, it smooths my hair as I dry. Once I'm done with that, I don't even need to curl it that day. Like I can just put some hairspray on it and go. It straightens my hair as I dry. It just works so much better than just a blow dryer and brush for me. So I really do still love that. Every time I wash my hair, I use it. And that has stood the test of time. Mindy, I know you said at the time that you didn't like it and you're laughing now.
I am, because I'm like, did I ever say I was a fan of this? But if I did, I'm no longer a fan. And so it's so funny because like everybody I've talked to has loved this product. So of course I'm like, okay, yeah, one-stop shop. I don't know what it is about my hair that decided to be ornery, but I had a tough time with it.
Okay.
So I kept getting tangled in my hair.
Yeah.
Well, and you might have thicker and you for sure have longer hair. And so maybe it doesn't work well for that. But like shoulder length hair, it works good for me. Julie, have you ever tried it?
No, and I've been on the fence. And I know y'all don't help because one of you likes it, one of you doesn't. But my hair is shorter and I think I will try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you actually will like it. So anyways, if mine broke, I'd turn around and buy another one tomorrow, which says a lot about the product.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for you, Marie, too. A hair thing like that. I think that says a lot.
Okay. What are you getting at, Mindy? Because I don't mix things up very often.
No, because you really it has to really work or you're you have no patience for it.
Oh, right. I'm not going to spend a lot of time learning to master it.
No, it either works or it doesn't.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, Julie, what else is something that you like?
Okay, this is a collection of products. And it's Thrive Cosmetics. And I think, I think my first I'm a fan was the mascara. And now I've forgotten what they call that.
Mascara.
It's
I don't know.
tubing
okay.
mascara.
Okay.
And I absolutely love it. I still use it. And I noticed when I was packing to go on a trip, I was kind of looking in my makeup bag, trying to figure out, okay, what do I need? And everything I pulled out to go in my travel bag was that green Thrive. Like it's grown. Like it's my mascara now, my concealer. My newest thing was their eyeshadow, and their thing was eyeliner and their blush. So I pretty much have everything except maybe foundation and powder from Thrive. So I highly recommend it. Great products.
Yes, I second that. I've since gotten a few of their products too. Like they'll have good deals. I think it's like a certain number of products for a certain amount of money, or buy two, get one free. You can always usually get some free shipping. Like I like
and you
their
get them
too.
so quick. I mean, they come in a couple of days. Yeah,
they do. Mindy, I think you liked their mascara too, didn't you?
Listen, I totally third that. That was my second highest product. Like I even kind of rated my I'm a fans. My Philosophy came in first. Thrive Cosmetics came in second by far. And like Julie, I started with the tubing mascara and have since replaced all of my Tarte products that I used to be I'm a fans of with the Thrive products. And so my Tarte products, it wasn't that they were bad, but I'm no longer a fan because I love the Thrive products so much more. And I even replaced my Julie, what's it called? It's like the tinted CC cream. It's got like everything in it. The sunscreen, it's tinted and it's very light on your face.
I'm not sure. I don't have that yet. So
I love that. So that I used to get, it was the Elta MD, I think is what it's called. And I had gotten that through the dermatologist. I've replaced it with the Thrive one because I love it so much more.
Well, so I guess we're all fans of Thrive Cosmetics.
Yes.
All right, Mindy, what's something else that you're liking still?
I am still loving and still wearing daily my Revlon Color Stay lipstick. I have used this product for so long, it's probably embarrassing when I think back to when I started. I can't even remember. And so I just have different colors that I'll mix and match, but it is the perfect lipstick. And I put it on once in the morning and then I'm done. I have a lipstick that I wear when I'm just working out and around the house. It's very neutral. I have my Sunday lipstick. I have my fall colors that I'll blend. And so really I mix and match those. I love them.
Mindy, I need your makeup advice. I don't even own one tube of lipstick. Because whenever I go to the store to buy one, I'm overwhelmed by the number of color choices. Yeah. How could anyone possibly know what is going to look good on them? You know what I'm saying? And I just hate to open up all these packages and then have to return them.
That is so funny because I only have one tube of lipstick and I've had it probably for 20 years. Not the same tube, but the same color. And if they ever quit making it, I'll be beside myself. And on Sunday, I was going to church and I was kind of dressed up. I was teaching a class and I realized I hadn't put my lipstick on. I pulled into Walgreens on the way to church and bought that lipstick. And I was like, oh, what color is it? I know the number, it's L'Oreal 620 mica, it's like, I think they've changed the name over the years, but the number's the same.
And it's always been produced. You've never had to go without.
No.
I have not. And that's why I'm so thankful because my hairspray, my Redken hairspray that I have recommended in the past, right now they're rebranding. I've been without it for 4 months.
What?
So
why do companies rebrand?
Look, I'm so annoyed. I am so annoyed. Anyway, it's still my favorite. But no, this Revlon Color Stay, Marie, you should try because our coloring is very similar. My neutral go-to color is Bare Maximum.
Okay.
I will send you a link.
Okay.
Buy that one. You can get it at Walmart, Target.
Okay.
I put it on in the morning. I blot, and it is a neutral. Like I'm wearing it now, so there's like a hint of a color, like
yeah.
But it's like all day.
Okay. Well, yes. What I need are specific color choices because I look at those colors and I'm like, forget it. There's no way I can make a decision here.
I am sending you a link right now.
Okay, good.
That's the one makeup item. If I don't have on, I feel like I just look naked. Like a lot of people, it's their eye makeup or whatever. But for me, it's like I just look kind of dead without it. And I just couldn't even go into church without it. I had to pull in there and get it.
I wonder if anyone else would even think anything different, though. That's what I always wonder.
Well, it's just a very neutral, but it's like I can never go with, I need to wear this color because I'm wearing this color dress. That doesn't work for me. I look like a clown. It has to be this color.
Okay. So they better not quit making it.
I am so extra compared to you guys in this category. I mean, it is a daily thing. I do not go without.
Okay. Well, let's see. Something else that I'm still a fan of, and for anyone that doesn't want to spend $100 on joggers, which I really think you've obviously got your money worth, but I know that Mindy has recommended these, and then I got some, and I love these joggers, and so I recommended them in episode 159. They are the mid-rise Breathe On jogger pants for women from Old Navy, and they have like 6 or 8 colors. I have 2 colors. I probably get at least another color coming up here in the fall. They are so comfortable. And just like you, Julie, like you could sleep in them more. I like to wear them on a car trip where I'm probably going to fall asleep in the car because they're just not tight on your stomach. They're not super heavy, so you don't get too hot or too cold. Like, I don't know. They're just comfortable. And like right now, they are $25 at Old Navy. So
yeah.
You can get a couple pairs.
They are still amazing. I totally agree, Marie. And it's funny because that was the Old Navy workout clothes. Like in general, we have all talked about it's nice because they're affordable and you can try it. And actually, if it doesn't fit right, you can return it. But yeah, one of my top things on my I'm a fan list are the Old Navy, the 7/8 length compression, like Power Soft or something. Like it's got all those names.
The leggings, yeah.
Yes, it's got the side pocket. So
yes,
I still wear them every time I go to work out. So they're still like that Old Navy brand between the joggers and those 7/8 length. I can't even say it. Those are my favorite.
They have bad names, but I'm a fan. I became a fan of your I'm a fan, Mindy. I wear those every week to work out.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago when my daughter was finishing up things that she wanted to bring to college, and I had kind of cut her off on, I'm not spending any more money. Like, whatever else you want is on you.
Right.
So she still needed some workout clothes. And if it's on her, she's going to go someplace a little bit cheaper. So she went to Old Navy. She never darkens the door of Old Navy. But all of a sudden, I'm getting pictures from the dressing room and I'm getting texts. Old Navy has really good workout clothes. Do you like this? Do you like that? And so, yes, they do have good workout clothes. And a young person is actually agreeing with you, Mindy.
Oh my goodness. I love to hear that. That is great. And they have sales all the time.
Yeah. So definitely a good place to go. All right, Julie, what's something else that you're a fan of still?
Well, I would have to say my peel and stick faux grass cloth wallpaper because it's still on the wall.
It did not fall down.
Right. I was, thought I probably shouldn't say I'm a fan until I see how long it lasts, but it looks great. It hasn't fallen down and it's in a bathroom. And I said I wanted to use it other places, but it is a little on the expensive side. I mean, I guess wallpaper in general is, and this was just a tiny little space, so it was fun to do. But I think it really looks like grass cloth. I mean, I just love it. And I got the Scott Living brand, which is the the Property Brothers. They do the TV show. I guess their last name is Scott Living, and you can get it at Lowe's.
Yeah, that really does. I've seen it in person. It really does look great, and that is one of the things with peel and stick. People say they love it, like the first weekend they put it up, but then you do wonder a few months later, is it
Right.
still on the wall?
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
Great. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, Mindy, you're still a fan of what?
I'm still a huge fan of my Birkenstocks.
And you have several colors.
I have added to I guess it's a collection. I have 3 pair now, only because I found ones that the store was clearancing out. They were light sky blue with a big silvery buckle and the white footbed. And I was like, well, I can't not get them. They're the last pair and they're my size and they're so pretty. But I wear these Birkenstocks all through the year, all the time. And especially since I broke my toe, I will not go barefoot in the house anymore. Like Julie said, her husband, he won't go barefoot in their house. And I'm like, that's probably a good idea.
All right. Well, I was going back through my I'm a fans of things that I'm still a fan of. And you guys, I recommend so many shows and so many books. And it's,
Right.
of course, I still recommend them, but I just thought, well, for people that haven't listened for very long, I'm just going to go through a few of the ones that I think are extremely notable. Like at the beginning of 2020, I told people that I binge watched A French Village, which my parents had told me, Marie, you would love it, but it was all in subtitles. And I thought, I am not going to sit there and have to stare at the screen and watch subtitles the whole time. Well, after I watched the first episode, I was happy to sit there and stare at the screen and watch subtitles the whole time. And I felt like by the end of 7 seasons, I could speak French. I don't remember a word, but I was fluent for a month.
They say that's
Ooh la
the
la.
best way.
Yes. But this is a series set in central France during World War II. And A French Village explores the story of French collaboration, resistance, and simple survival during the German occupation. And you guys, it has all the emotions and like human things that I like: weakness, courage, greed, opportunism, love. All of it interact in this account of how a community taken over by a brutal conquering power survives. And I got so into these characters. I enjoyed the whole series. I was sad, so sad to see it end. So highly recommend A French Village, especially if you think you would like to hear a lot of French speaking. Another show that I recommended was The Missing, and I won't go into that too detailed, but I always recommend to people season 1 and season 2. They're each about missing kids, but I'm telling you, the storyline is gripping. And then I had a few books that I still am like, yes. The Last Plane in the Sky by Garrett Graff about the oral history of 9/11, and he interviews so many people. And I would just say, listen to the audiobook. I am telling you, it is so, so excellent. Another book that I loved, and still recommend is The Push by Ashley Audrain. This is about motherhood and things that you don't suspect, and it's just really gripping also. And then 2 other authors that I've recommended a few times on the podcast, Sally Hepworth. I like pretty much all of her books. And the first one I read by her was called The Mother-in-Law. And I just like how she gets into the minds of the different characters, and she tells you from their perspective, because a lot of times we don't know why people are doing what they're doing. And if we find out why, we understand them so much better. So I love how she writes. And I also love the books by Mary Kubica. I think the last one I recommended by her was Local Woman Missing. It's fictional, but that was such a good book. It had such a great twist. So if you're looking for shows or series or books, I feel like I've recommended so many. And I really couldn't find any that I noticed that I was like, oh, no, I wouldn't recommend that anymore. So,
All right.
Wow. That's impressive. That's quite a list.
Yeah. All right, Julie, we've talked about a lot of things that we are still fans of, but let's give the listeners something that we are not fans of.
Well, one of mine was a TV series that we were watching, and it was The Hardy Boys I think it's on HBO Max. And we loved season 1 because it was set in the 80s. I loved that time period. It was just a fun show because it was a remake. I think when I was probably in high school, there was a Hardy Boys mystery on. So it was kind of a fun remake. And season 2 has really taken quite a turn.
Oh.
And so so I'm just not watching it anymore. I can't recommend season 2, but season 1 was great. So.
Okay. And that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes you
Yeah.
love something, then it comes to season 2 or 3 or 4, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay.
Yeah. It just happened so quick.
Right.
All right, Mindy, what's something else that you are not a fan of?
Well, I was so excited when I talked about these, and then it turned out that you guys, well, I for sure remember Julie was also a fan of, but I no longer like them, are my Old Navy denim shorts that I got this season.
Oh, I feel like you just recommended those this
I
summer.
did.
No, but this is good, though. We need to know why.
Okay. They didn't last very long for me, so I'll be interested to hear Julie's take on it. But I thought they were so perfect at the time. And I don't know, the more I wear them, the waist is way too big. Like it's my body, I know, but they just don't fit my, like I have hips and then my waist is smaller. And so these fit my hips, and then I'm going to either have to put a belt on or something because it's just like way too big at the top. And so anyways, if I went down a size, I feel like that'd be too tight on my butt. So I don't know.
Yeah.
How about you, Julie?
Well, I'm kind of built the opposite, but they are stretchy, which I kind of expect out of cheap jeans. You know, you just have to wash them more.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, maybe they are getting stretched out a little bit. But no, that's good to know, because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we recommend something that 2 weeks later we're like, I don't know if I really still like this product.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good to know. All right, something that I thought I loved, I actually recommended these in April of 2020. I thought I loved the Costco sheets because I had always bought Sam's Club sheets, and I had tried Costco sheets, and I thought, oh, I love these. I was using them. You guys, I tried to love them. Like, I know there are people that rave about them online, but every day or two when we woke up, the elastic had come up, like the sheet was coming off the mattress, and that is so annoying. I don't want to remake my bed, sheets and all, every morning. And finally, after maybe even a month of this happening, I just thought, I feel bad about this, but and I felt stupid standing in the return line bringing 2 sets of used sheets back. I mean, I had already thrown away the packaging and everything, but the charge is on your credit card. They can find it. And I was like, I'm sorry. I bought these wanting to keep them. I've heard great things. I said, but they fall off my bed. They don't stay on. And it said deep pockets. It wasn't a function of that the mattress was too deep. So, I mean, Costco took them back. I felt bad. Nobody wants to touch other people's sheets. I did wash them before I took them in, but it just felt awkward. But yes, you can even return your sheets that you hate back to Costco.
Well, I bought those sheets for David's bed, and he did not like them. And he felt like even the top sheet slid off the bottom sheet. He did not like how
they're too slippery.
Yeah. So we went back to kind of cheaper Target cotton sheets. That's what he likes. So.
Yeah. Well, then I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And maybe they've changed their formula since 2020. Maybe when people were recommending them, it was a different kind of formula, and maybe they've gotten a lot of returns and now they're changing it again. But in particular that year, they just weren't a good sheet. So I went back to Sam's Club brand for sheets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, yeah. But I'm not a fan of the Costco sheets. I haven't tried them again.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Julie, what's something else that you recommended to listeners and now you're like, well, let me take that back?
Well, I recommended a steel garden hose. It's
oh, yes.
It looks like stainless steel. And it's little rings. And I mean, I do still like it okay, but it says it's crush resistant. It is not if you run over it with your car. I guess they meant you could step on it. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a big difference between a 150-pound person stepping on it and a 3,000-ton or pound car.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So in our hose, it's on our driveway. So if I've used it and I don't put it back up,
yes,
or if I've got it hooked to a sprinkler, it's often across the driveway.
Oh, okay. So it has not stood up to driving your vehicle over it.
Crush resistant does not mean a car can drive over it. So that was a little disappointing.
Oh no, bummer.
But we kept it. It still works.
It's funny because I bought that based on your recommendation for my back hose hookup because I only need a 15-foot right there. I just want to water right there. And I've gotten those ones that kind of come back, like they kind of squish back up when you turn them off. And every summer they burst by the end of the summer because it's sitting in the heat all day and it just wears it down and you can be watering all of a sudden it just blows. So I bought the stainless steel and I have loved it. It doesn't get tangled.
Right.
Of course, I don't walk on it or drive my car.
Sure.
But if you're going to use it, as most people use a hose, I do recommend it over a lot of other hoses that I've tried.
Yeah, and like I said, I do like the way it functions and it does not tangle and all of that. But on your driveway, it might not be the best thing. No. So I need to try it on the other 2 hoses that I have. You know?
It could be user error or maybe not.
I don't know.
Well, Julie needs I had high hopes for the crush resistant claim. But,
Julie needs like construction grade crush resistant.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who ran over it. I'm not sure.
Oh,
but it wasn't you.
I don't think it was
me. Okay. All right. Mindy, what else are you going to take back?
Well, I can't take them back, but I no longer like them at all.
This is strong words from Mindy.
I used to only buy Brooks Glycerin shoes.
Oh, yes.
The Brooks Glycerin 18s I loved, and they were just so perfect. Now, I have heard, though, about every decade or every 5 years even, that like your body changes, like it shifts. And so I started having a lot of, after wearing them for years and loving them, I started having more hip pain and stuff like that on my long walks. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work for me. So this was a recommendation that I made, is that I bought the Hoka's, the Clifton 8s, and I still love those right now. So right now in my midlife body self, my Hoka's are definitely where it's at. I don't have pain when I go for my long walks, but those Brooks Glycerins, and they had changed the 19s. Like I was totally sold on them. I was like, I just need a new pair. Well, no, like they're different. They rubbed my heels raw. I had to send them back.
Oh, wow. You know, I've had that happen with sneakers too. It's like I bought one pair and loved it. Then I tried to buy the identical pair and it doesn't always fit as comfortably as the first pair.
No, they do not. So no more Brooks.
It's good you found the
at least
Hoka's.
right now.
Yeah, I do want to try that one. I need to get to Fleet Feet and see if they think that, you know, because sometimes I want to try something and then I talk to them about what I want to use it for. And they're like, well, actually, those are good shoes, but for what you want, I don't think you'd be happy with them, you know.
Well, I will say the Hoka's are definitely made for walking, running, for front to back motion. They are not so good for like agility training or side to side motion because they don't have that type of support. But if you're looking to go for long walks or runs, Hoka's is where it's at.
Okay. Well, that's great to know. All right. This is also some footwear that I'm no longer a fan of. And it's funny because somebody actually tagged me on Facebook. They were looking for new flip-flops and they tagged me and said, Marie, are these the ones you recommended a while ago? And I had to go and say, no, I don't recommend them anymore. Don't recommend them anymore. Don't order them based on my recommendation.
Oh, no.
Okay, so it's funny because this was back in episode 148, and the title of the episode, ironically, was Buyer's Remorse. And I had buyer's remorse about these shoes. This is what Archie's on their website says. Real arch support. They did have good arch support. I will give them that. Super comfy material. I don't know. I mean, I felt like my feet were kind of sore, especially like between the toes and maybe over the foot on a flip-flop. No plugs, no problem. So meaning that they wouldn't break, like if someone stepped on the back. And they didn't do that. Light as a feather. They were pretty light, but almost too light. Like I just ended up feeling like they just hurt my feet, and they are not made to hurt your feet. Like you pay like $30-some for these because they're going to be a flip-flop that's very comfortable, and they didn't turn out to be comfortable. So for those that are looking for comfortable flip-flops, I no longer recommend my Archie's flip-flops for my foot they weren't comfortable. But I do recommend my Reef flip-flops that I recommended in episode 179. I have been happy with the flip-flops I ordered with the Reef brand all summer. They still are comfortable. So if anyone's out there trying to make a decision, I take back what I said about Archie's. Okay. All right, Julie, do you have another one that you do not recommend?
Actually, I don't. I think I looked through every episode, and those were the two that I could find.
Oh, you only had two things? Okay,
yeah,
well, then
seriously.
tell us something that you do recommend.
Yeah, like as far as home things I use in my home, probably my top one is that Invisible Shield shower cleaner and water repellent.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot of glass in our shower that doesn't have a frame, and I just always want that glass to stay clean. So, you can clean your glass with it, and then you can put it on, and I squeegee my shower after each shower. And there's no soap scum, no mildew. It just looks really great. And you can clean your mirrors with it and other glass, but it's almost like that Rain-X that you put on a windshield, to make it beat up.
Right.
So that is still working great. You can get that on Amazon.
How often do you have to reapply that, Julie?
Oh, I found that I don't do it nearly as often as I was when I started.
Okay.
But sometimes I will clean it like with some bleach or something just to get a deep clean. And after that, I feel like, well, maybe that's stripped everything off. So I'll put it back on then,
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely something, if you have a glass shower, is probably something to look into.
Yeah, I really like it. And I've had other people try it and say they did too.
Mindy, do you have something that you no longer recommend, or are you back to the list of things you do?
I'm actually out of things that I don't recommend. I have so many things that I still love.
Okay, well, what is something?
This is kind of funny. This was not I'm a fan, but Marie, it was one of yours. And I decided to give it a shot because you raved so much about it. And then I'm glad I bought it when I did, because they have been out of stock ever since. It is the Lululemon Everywhere belt bag.
Yes, I love that thing.
Oh my gosh, it is amazing. I want another color now and I can't get it.
I know. I wanted to recommend that again on this episode, but when you click on my link to it, it goes, oh snap, we no longer have this or something. It's like, are you ever going to bring it back?
I know. I can't believe, first of all, that I was ahead of a trend, and then I really can't believe you were ahead of the trend. And I hate to say that, but that's just not typically you, Marie.
No, I know.
And so I so love that you recommended it when you did, and that I took a chance. And now it's all the time, every day. I've gotten so many compliments on it, and everyone's like, "Oh, where can I get that?" I'm like, "Well, you can try online."
Poshmark. I think you kind of have to get them. Yeah, you have to kind of get them from either used or maybe someone bought them and is now selling it at an inflated price.
Yes. I mean, I love it so much. I never empty it. Even on Sundays, I have a Kate Spade little purse that I stick that in my Kate Spade purse to disguise it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm like, I never even empty it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, I think I shared last week that my daughter was saying, I want a Lululemon belt bag before she went to college. And we looked, and of course, they didn't have any that you could buy, but they did have the minis, which I thought would be too small. It was too small for me. Like, I have a big phone, but I thought I was ordering the regular for her, and it really turned out to be the mini. But when it came, I was like, well, this is it, Lydia. Like, you can either have this one or none, because this is all they have. Okay. And so she took it with her, and then she sent me a picture this week of her in a full-length mirror wearing it. And she's like, look how cute it looks. But it fits her phone great, and it fits her keys and her ID. And, so I think if you catch them on the right day, they do have the minis, and they're just a little bit smaller than the regular ones. So you can still go to Lululemon's website and possibly get a belt bag, but you better hurry, because one day I looked and they only had pink, and then like another day I looked and they only had black. Like, it's not a plethora of stock that they have.
Right.
So I don't know if they're doing this on purpose to make all women crazy or what. Just make some more.
I know. But it's awesome.
I'm glad you are still a fan of that, Mindy. Well, something that I am not a fan of, and it's so funny because I went back to Aldi this summer, and we've shared before that Aldi only carries things seasonally. And last summer, they had the Barks frozen root beer float treats at Aldi, and I raved about them. I said, if you ever see them, buy several boxes. When I went through the line, the cashier was like, these are great. And so I think I went back and grabbed a couple more because I knew they'd probably run out. Well, they came back in season. I took a picture to even post in our stories like, look, they're back. And then I didn't like them this year. And I don't know if they changed the formula, but they were just too sweet. And when you can tell I don't like something when I start serving it to company. So I had bought a few boxes.
Wait, shouldn't it be the opposite?
Well, if it's something you can only get a little bit of time, I'll save it for myself. So I had bought a few boxes and hid them way in the back of the freezer. And then my daughter was over one night and I was like, oh, do you want one of these for dessert? And she's like, sure. And we could hardly finish them. She's like, these are just overly sweet, Mom. Like, I don't really feel like I can eat these. And so then my husband started coming down during the day and he'd be like, hey, is anyone allowed to eat these? I'm like, sure, eat them all you want. Because I was thinking, I'm never eating another one, but I don't want to tell him that. So like he finished off like the 2 or 3 boxes that I bought for supply. Anyways, I wasn't a fan. And that's what happens sometimes is you go back and you're like, I don't know if I really like that. That also happened with the Trader Joe's mahi mahi burgers and salmon burgers that I recommended. I don't know. The second time I bought them, I had a hard time eating them. Have you been eating them, Mindy?
No, I just told Abby about it. I was like, oh, because I know that her and Joey, they have a Trader Joe's.
Okay.
And we're looking for a new product. I'm like, oh, Marie just talked about these salmon burgers.
Well, I don't know. Then someone told me to try the Costco ones, and I liked the Costco ones better than the Trader Joe's salmon burgers. And the mahi mahi, I don't know. I just could not get into eating a mahi mahi burger. The first time it was new and my taste buds were like, maybe. This is a good thing they only come in packs of 4. I would have been like having to serve them to company because I couldn't make myself finish.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
I have a funny story. A friend of mine who lives in another state texted me one day this summer and said, hey, I noticed that Aldi has the root beer floats back in stock. Tell Marie because I know she loves them. I thought that was so funny.
That she remembered?
Yeah, that she remembered. Of course, I forgot to tell you, but I guess it was okay.
Yeah, it's okay because I don't know. I didn't like them this summer. Maybe it's like Mindy's thing where every 10 years your taste buds go through a revolution and you're like, liked it last year, not this.
True.
Okay. All right. Well, let's all do one more thing that you either love or don't like. And Julie, Mindy, I know you guys only have things that you like left. So Julie, what is something that you still are recommending and you want everyone to know about it?
Okay. I think it would probably have to be my Raycon earbuds. I know there's probably lots of brands out there and they're probably all just as good, but I think maybe the great thing about these is the high quality and the price. They're $79.99, which I think the Apple ones are probably what, $120 or?
I think the regular ones, like basic, are down to $99.
Okay. They have a 32-hour battery life. They fit in my ears really well, and I just love the little case. And you charge them in the case. I'm guessing that's a universal thing with earbuds, but everybody in the family has black ones. Mine are white, so I know which ones are mine.
Perfect.
Stands out. And I've had them. I think my kids got them for me in January of last year when John got sick. They had all gotten earbuds for Christmas and I didn't. And they were on my list. So they just got some for me in January. But so yeah, still got them. I haven't lost them.
That's impressive.
That was my main reason for not getting them. I thought those things are too little. I'll never keep up with them, but I have.
That's awesome.
Because I like them so much, I make sure I know like, okay, these are going back in this place. I don't just leave them around and I protect them. So.
Yes. All right. Well, that's good to know. And we'll put a link to that in our show notes if you want to order them too. All right, Mindy, what is your last thing that you are recommending?
The last thing that I'm recommending that I have still loved are my bra inserts that I recommended. It's been at least over a year.
I remember those.
Yeah. And I know somebody even asked about, okay, what was that link again? What are those called? Because I've ordered them several times because I replace all of my bra pads. Even if I get a new sports bra, these are higher quality. And I don't even dry my sports bras. Like I take very good care of all of my workout clothes. But these eventually you have to replace, but it takes a while. And so I got them on Amazon. You can get 4 pair of bra inserts for $16.99. They're semicircle shaped. It's sewed stitched on the exterior, so you're not going to have like the pieces pulling apart or anything. I love them and they're perfect, and I continue to purchase them.
That's wonderful. About how often do you have to replace, do you think?
I have only had to replace them once.
Oh, okay. So when you buy new ones, it's for new sports bras.
It'll be for new sports bras or to replace. I've even replaced some in my swimming suit tops.
Really? Okay, that's good to know.
Yes.
Mindy, I think about that every time I'm wrestling and fighting with mine after they come out of the dryer and they're all peeling and crumpled and have a big dent in them or a crease. And
oh yeah,
and I just haven't pulled the trigger on getting them, so I'm going to do that. Oh my goodness! Especially since you're still a fan.
I am still a fan, and I do still love them, and so I kind of like to have a couple extra on hand, and they're cheap enough I can do that, so I can replace when I get a new bra.
Right. All right. Well, I recommended something that I'm not a fan of. I recommended these progressive multifocus reading glasses. And I had gone to the eye doctor in the spring, and I have to use like 1 or 1.25 to be able to read. And I was tired of looking up, and then everything's kind of distorted. And he was telling me about progressive lenses. But if you're going to buy them as real glasses, then you're going to pay real glasses prices. And I just felt like I don't want to wear them all the time. And I know I lose my reading glasses all the time, so I'd probably lose these. So I started looking, and I ordered these, and I recommended them to listeners. And the idea of them is that the reading strength is on the bottom, and then it kind of transitions to normal at the top. I take back my recommendation. So many times, I think it came with like a few pairs. Maybe I ordered like 4 pairs, and I think I only have 2 left. I'm not even hard on them. It's like I opened them, and the frame fell apart, or I'm in a group trying to read, and then all of a sudden, like, one of the sides breaks off. Like, they were just not good glasses. So I am still on the lookout. Listeners, if anyone knows, I wish they would make these, like, just like they make reading glasses, just make the progressive ones. Because I don't want to spend a ton of money. Pair? Okay.
PAIR, my friend Janet recommended, and she still uses them, and I did order a pair.
And are they that?
Yeah, they're progressive.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I put my prescription in there. I'm not sure, but they were much cheaper than going to the eye doctor. But I'm new to glasses too. So I just thought, I always buy cheap sunglasses because I lose them. And I thought, I just don't want to spend a lot of money. But John's been in glasses since he was a kid. And you really do get what you pay for, like comfort and how they hold up. And unfortunately.
So listeners, if you have something that you use, please email us or find us on Instagram. All right, Julie, Mindy, I loved hearing what you're still a fan of and maybe what you're not. And I hate for listeners to have missed out on some of these. So do you want to just say the names of the other things that are on your list that you are still a fan of? Just say the name of it.
Great idea.
Okay, Julie.
All right, Julie.
Read them off.
Yeah, you go.
Mine was the 12-inch Mezzaluna knife. It's that big curved knife like they use it chopped at the restaurant.
Okay.
So I like to cut up my salad. I like to cut up cilantro that way, veggies, and I even use it as a pizza cutter. I even had a listener respond and said she bought that knife and loved it. So I love Southern Living on Instagram because they have links to home, gardening, travel, recipes. And I've even had some listeners respond and say they love that too. And I think it's free. So I don't know how the magazine still functions they have all these free links, but it's great. And then I recommend some recipes. The flourless chocolate torte 5-ingredient cake. I had so many people say they baked that and love it. So that's still a great easy dessert. And I don't know what episode that was on. Maybe I can find the link and we can put it back up.
Yes, I remember that. Mindy, what did you not get to say yet that you're still a fan of?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Marie. I was going to have a hard time if I couldn't say my whole list. I still love and wear all the time. I know I recommended them last summer, but they are the Kalia 5-inch Journey woven shorts. They're the perfect walking short for me because the pockets have zippers and they're just the right length. And so they have a drawstring, or they have a tie waist, so you can make them, to fit you. I just love them. I still listen all the time to Tim Keller's podcast, Gospel in Life, and I still absolutely love that. I talk about his podcast regularly with my son, Grant. Let's see, the Smart Plugs on Amazon. We are still major fans of. And then the last thing is super simple, but it's just the Bertolli spaghetti sauce. I just love the brand. I do the red sauce, the white sauce. And so anytime I make pasta, that's my favorite go-to spaghetti sauce.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm still a fan of all the books and movies that I've recommended. I just couldn't go through and say them all again. It seems like I recommend that way more than actual products. But I love that we kind of recommend, like, Mindy's our go-to for like fashion and makeup. And Julie, I feel like you always have a lot of great kitchen ideas, like tools, recipes, and things like that. And then if you're looking for entertainment, I feel like I always have something that I'm either listening or watching. So I like that when I listen to a podcast and I kind of know, like, well, what am I going to get from this person and what am I going to get from that person? So I think I'm a Fan has been a really fun segment of Midlife Matters. And I loved going back and seeing what we still like. And now hearing you guys say what you still like, I'm probably going to get some of it because, hey, it stood the test of time.
Yeah, it affirms, okay, I do need to get this.
Yes. And listeners, we would love to hear from you. Find us on Instagram at Midlife Matters Podcast or email us at midlifematterspodcast@gmail.com. We have gotten some emails and messages about things that people have tried, either books or movies or products that they've loved. And I love getting those. If you buy something based on a recommendation, or you read or watch something, or you start using or doing something, we want to know about it because it's so fun for us to know that what we recommended, people actually are doing and love just as much as we do. So, Julie and Mindy, it was great talking with you.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes, this was so fun.
All right, we'll see you next week.
All right, goodbye.
All right, bye, girls.
We're so happy you joined us today. You can find the show notes for this episode at midlifematterspodcast.com. Also, please tell a friend about the show and help them hit the free subscribe button on their favorite podcast app. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Midlife Matters Podcast. That's where we post pictures and stories about all the things we talk about in each episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.